Good afternoon, dear friends. We here, Ludmila Shiryaeva and Alexander Malichev, we're given this excellent opportunity to welcome you at the 13th ceremony of the International Global Energy Award presentation. Energy is something that there is no life on Earth, and that means that the purpose of this award is to support life itself, thanks to the contribution by scientists. Technologies evolve and change every day, but the purpose is unchanged. Being born in Russia, Global Energy Award unites the basis of life, the energy of nature, the energy of science, the energy of business, and this country owns a very heavy contribution into the development of the energy to combat the environmental changes and resolving the environmental problems the planet is facing. Back in 2003, when the first time the International Global Energy Award was being presented, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, formulated its purpose in the following way. The International Global Energy Award was being conceived and created as the award of the new millennium. And I believe it's deeply symbolic and natural for it to be established, initiated by Russia and in Russia, which is one of the acknowledged leaders of the global energy market. Now, the ceremony of the International Global Energy Award 2015 is open. The Global Energy Award is not only duly proud of its tradition, but is also open to innovations. Traditions and innovations of this award is what we're going to find out from the following video. Of course, you've heard about the Global Energy Prize. It is an independent international award for outstanding discoveries, research, and development. Developments that increase energy efficiency, open up new economic opportunities, and ensure environmental security around the world. The Global Energy Prize is primarily a celebration of outstanding scientists and, of course, the popularization of science. Results of this innovative research can later be used in our companies. We're very pleased that there was a quantitative breakthrough by modernizing the prize's nomination process, by modernizing the approaches to selecting the number of nominees, which has almost doubled. How did this happen? We changed the conditions. We introduced a double expert examination of applications for the prize. We gave the right to nominate candidates to all the professional associations and international energy organizations. We launched the regional Global Energy Prize support committees. As a result, in the long list of the 2015 prize includes 21 scientists from 6 countries: Australia, United Kingdom, Hungary, Singapore, Japan, and of course, Russia. Without doubt, Russia plays Since its inception 30 years ago, the prize has been awarded to 33 scientists, but that's not only the achievement. The Global Energy is based as a partnership and launches dozens of programs for different age groups. Energy of Youth grants motivate young scientists to make some breakthrough scientific research. Energy of Inspiration is awarded to people who have inspired the laureates to make their inventions and discoveries. Energy Breakthrough to young scientists for outstanding innovation. And Energy of Kids, children's projects in the energy area. Energy of Thought, the annual theoretical and practical scientific symposium. Energy of Education, all-Russian student energy case competition. Energy of Words, an international media competition for the best article on energy-related topics. Of course, real science is open and global, and there aren't any serious barriers in scientific cooperation. In recent months, we have had many visits of scientists from the United States, and European countries as well that have applied sanctions to us. Our scientists go abroad, including to the United States, and judging by their comments, there's no barriers in cooperation. At least, if there were barriers, they were not any bigger than before. And in this sense, all governments have an understanding that such barriers are better not be raised because science is driving all the humanity to move forward. During all the history of the Russian civilization, Russia has always been one of the biggest energy sources. Construction of hydro and nuclear power plants, atomic power vessels supplying all the continent with energy, mastering the thermonuclear reaction, the invention of the alternative energy sources and more, all this made Russia not only one of the absolute leaders of the world in the energy sectors, but also the guarantor of energy security. When it comes to the energy sector, the European companies and American companies, the companies of the Asian continent, as well as Latin American companies, always recognize Russian producers as reliable partners and strive to sign new contracts and agreements with our companies. These contracts are concluded on a quarterly basis at all the forums and conventions. Overall, we are happy with this cooperation. Over the last years, with reduced world oil prices, Russia needed to go the way of import substitution, while the Russian fuel and energy sector opened up new possibilities. Today, there is definitely a trend of import substitution in the companies which are basically natural monopolies, as for FTC, US, and the appropriate program of the import substitution is running until 2020. And this is very important, not just for the global energy price, not only in the international sense of the word, but specifically in developing the breakthrough technologies in Russia itself, because Russian scientists after that have a chance to win grants according to the results of their work, their today's research, and in principle promote those areas for which they have a demand from companies such as FGC. Russia openly believes in the international cooperation beyond any borders for the benefit of all mankind, taking a leadership role, uniting the world community, helping other countries to solve their energy problems. Global energy, the energy of creation. Unfortunately, 2015 became one of the most sad years throughout the history of the global energy. Two outstanding scientists, the laureates of it, passed this year, the laureate of 2011, Philip Rudberg, and the laureate of 2004, Leonard Koch from the United States. Let us commemorate their memory. Thank you. In Russia, it was always have been understood the importance of the energy resources, and the Russian energy companies account for a very big weight in the international energy community. The Global Energy Award was conceived in 2002 thanks to an idea by the famous Russian scientists, in active position by the leading energy companies, and the support by the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome the founders of the Global Energy Award, the members of the non-commercial partnership, the Global Energy. Let's welcome the Open Joint Stock Company Gazprom, Deputy Chairman of the Management Board, Vitaly Markelov. Open Joint Stock Company Surgutneftegas, its General Director, Vladimir Bogdanov. Open Joint Stock Company, Federal Grid Company, US of Russia, Chairman of the Board, Andrei Murov. We are welcoming the Chairman of the Supervisory Board of the Non-Commercial Partnership Global Energy, Academician Nikolai Laverov. We also welcome the chairman of the International Committee for the Global Energy Award, the Nobel laureate, Dr. Rodney John Allen, UK. Ladies and gentlemen, each year, this non-commercial partnership, Global Energy, holds a competition on the energy of youth. And this is the competition, and about its participants, we're going to tell you the story. Please watch the screen. Vasily Pavlichenko is a serious guy and a serious young scientist. He has PhD in biology. His second great achievement in life is the Energy of Youth million granted from the Global Energy, he won with his team. How did he manage? It was easy. The innovative research deducing the growth of genetically modified trees. By itself, the application of highly productive, fast-growing tree plantations has many facets. Fast growers, particularly trees, can be used for disturbed land. Reclamation of this land, and with the phytoremediation, they can extract heavy metals from the soil. By itself, biofuels, processing wood into chips, pressing pellets that can be used in boilers, or in some gas-producing plants, that is a used tree, although it is simply growing faster. Global energy experts highly appreciated this innovation. After all, long-term, this can make possible growing poplars in other environments, for example, in the areas where they do not grow naturally. This can solve the fuel reserve problem at the local level. Now the project is at the stage of laboratory tests. Plants are being propagated in greenhouses. Several countries are already interested in acquiring this technology, but the next phase is needed, field tests. But only few people want to invest in money and to financially support the work at the beginning. So, of course, support from the Glen non-profit partnership was very significant in this respect. Dmitry Lopatin, the winner of Energy of Youth, was fascinated by science before entering the university. At home, once Dmitry came across one and then another non-fiction book, and the result, participation and victory in the Olympics. It continued and grew further. His hobby grew into a business. The results of his work is impressive. Dmitry created a solar cell from solutions of the 3D printer. Calculations show that the panel will operate for about 8 years. The cost of 1 square meter we have defined as about $10 to $12 per square meter. Currently, I have seen the value of the solar cell of about $110, $130 per square meter. The history of another scientist, Dmitry Solntsev, and how his invention differs from the previous two. Dmitry is an associate professor, but unlike colleagues, always wanted to work in the field of technology to do something with his hands. Dmitry received a 1 million ruble grant from Energy of Youth for development, neither more nor less nuclear energy, specifically the device for checking the reliability and the important characteristics of a floating nuclear power plant. We do model experiments on this model and conduct these studies with an aerodynamic stand that is in the air. We get an array of data with which the MSG African calculators can calculate thermal hydraulic, heat engineering, respectively, to substantiate the reliability of the active homes of all floating power plants, floating nuclear power plants. Namely, its many scientists designate that it is clear mobility, return on investments, and effectiveness. However, the safety issue is very serious. That is why the development of Dmitry and his colleagues is so important. The grant is not only financial support. It also means a certain status, especially the Energy Youth Grant, one of the few grants where there is independent evaluation by experts. The Energy of Youth Global Energy Program has existed and been developing for 10 years. 450 young scientists from 27 Russian regions have received 32 million rubles of grants for their interesting and promising development. The program attracts young people. They consider it the most objective and open competition in existence. On the other hand, the contest each year attracts more and more public attention. And this is in the framework that brings potential investors and inventors. This is the result. Global Energy is not talking, it's doing, but investing in the number of its partners. So the Energy of Youth program like one of the three of them, a lot of support for talented people of their innovative projects and promotion of dissemination of scientific knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to welcome the winners of the Energy of Youth program who are present in this room. Thank you very much. Well, we shall continue with the story about the scientific competition of the 13th Britain cycle. We would invite on the stage the chairman of the International Committee for the Global Energy Award, Rodney John Allen.
Gentlemen and honoured guests, it's my privilege and pleasure as Chairman of the Global Energy Prize Awards Committee to add my welcome to you all to this year's award ceremony. This year's selection has produced two outstanding laureates whose achievements have made very significant contributions to our international objective of developing a sustainable energy future for mankind. The Global Energy Prize, founded here in Russia, is an international organization endowed by these important Russian companies in the energy business to promote worldwide research and development in the energy field. It's appropriate for us to reflect on the current world energy situation with real turmoil in energy markets for primary fossil fuels and the continuing increase in global emissions of CO2. The Global Energy Prize seeks to encourage the development of technology, education, and applications which will overcome these problems, which affect not only us, but our future generations. This year's 119 nominations were twice as high as last year, reflecting the growing importance of this prize internationally. We finally chose our two laureates for their research contributions, which they both saw implemented in the marketplace. Our International Awards Committee welcomes two new members from Singapore and Japan. We are now seeking to extend our membership to other countries, particularly China and India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The Energy of Pen, this is the international media competition which was founded back in 2004 by a non-commercial partnership for the development of the international research and projects in the area of energy, Global Energy Award. And so this year, the winner of this competition was a correspondent, XIII from China. She's just 27 years old, and she's already a star of the energy reporting. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome XIII.
I'm so appreciated that Global Energy, the non-profit partnerships program Energy of the World, gave this precious opportunity for me, and so honored that my story on China's oil industry is accepted. And it is a big happiness to standing here today with all these brilliant laureates from all around the world, whose research has made incredibly breakthroughs in the energy field. There are so many significant stories related with capital markets, governments, and international interactions in energy field. In China, the scenario of energy industry reform is now taking place and very essential in the near future. In this case, I think energy journalists are playing an important role to record this progress. So I think it is really making sense that I can share the stories that's in this international platform like Energy of the World. As for me, I think it is both interesting and challenging to be a journalist that mainly focused on energy field because most of the players in this area is big heads and state-owned companies. I think, but I really gain a lot from the further research on this area and through continuous work, trying to understand the logic, the evolution, and the interaction in this industry. So I'm really happy that my work is accepted by the Global Energy Prize International Committee. Thank you very much.
We've already mentioned that the Global Energy Award actively utilizes innovative methods in its work. And so this year, Global Energy organized the Farsight session in order to identify new trends in energy and define the most vital and critical technological breakthroughs. Please watch the screen. Dark matter, space, the ionosphere, and cold fusion as energy sources will take a sizable position in the energy balance, but not before 2050. The Global Energy Prize laureates and members of the Global Energy Prize International Award Committee discussed possible scenarios for the development of world energy sector by 2050 at the first Foresight session, which took place a few weeks ago in Moscow. The best minds of energy science have agreed that within 35 years, hydrocarbons will still retain a dominant role in the energy mix, although their share will fall to 70% of energy consumption compared to today's 80% and the 1973 share of 96%. However, these roles will be redistributed among the major resources. A key source will be not the oil, but the gas. Coal will remain in the top three, with the widespread use of the well-known carbon capture storage technology for carbon dioxide gases. Scientists have determined that nuclear power and renewable energy will account for 28% of the fuel energy balance. Despite today's often negative perception of nuclear energy, its role will grow and by 2050 will reach 8 to 10%. Its accessibility and sustainability will help to solve the energy shortage problem. The share of renewable energy, water, sun, wind, and soil energy will be 20%. This is how the world energy balance will look by 2015, according to various organizations. The innovative energy sources like dark matter, energy of space, ionosphere energy, cold fusion, personal reactors, and other became a subject of a heated discussion, while noting the length of the investment cycle in the energy sector, eminent scholars estimated such source at 2%. That is significant given the fact that the interest of those sources now is quite widespread. Prominent scientists believe that to estimate that humanity should focus on finding technology solutions in responding to the current shortage, the growing world population, energy shortages, aggravated environmental problems, and climate change, humankind must concentrate its efforts on the search of technological solutions related to demand on the new energy sources. Well, the time has come, dear participants of the award ceremony, to introduce to you the laureates of the International Energy Award, Global Energy, for 2015. And so the laureate of the International Global Energy Award for 2015, Professor B. Jayant Baliga from the United States. Attention to the screen, please. Janet Baliga is a star, it's a fact. We'll appreciate the people and events by their members, right? Well, he is a distinguished professor of the State University of North Carolina, author of more than 500 scientific publications, 18 books, has made more than 100 inventions and discoveries. His citation index, which is the main indicator of success in science, is 32. Isn't it impressive? In addition to that, the main invention of Dr. Baliga is the insulated gate bipolar transistor, otherwise known as the IGBT. You won't believe, but today you can find it everywhere, providing energy to mixers and washing machines and solar panels, and automobiles and scanners and entire power grids. We all know that we need to solve problems if we want to develop further. Dr. Baliga solved one after another, obviously not every one of them believed in him and his ideas. Baliga's IGBT was against all the conventional understanding of the transistor production. Now this should make you smile. After 9 short months, Dr. Baliga started production on his transistor. Clearly, the company was in no hurry to share this development with the world. We often repeat a saying from a joke, and who has it easy? The way of Dr. Baliga was far from easy. He was lucky to be born in the family of one of the best engineers in India. Times were not easy, but Jayant positioned himself on electrical engineering. His plan at the time to follow in the footsteps of his father. A book is the best gift. Who doesn't know that? And Dr. Baliga confirms this truth. Books helped him expand his plans and changed his life. It was a surprise event for Dr. Baliga himself. Figures, calculations are facts. According to the calculations of Mr. Baliga and according to official data, his insulated gate bipolar transistor has saved over 1.5 trillion gallons of gasoline and has reduced electricity consumption by 73,000 terawatt hours. The worldwide effect of the IGBT amounts to $24 trillion. It is hard to believe and hard to imagine, right? But this is the truth. I've decided to suggest him for the nomination because the scale of his activity is evident to me. Baliga's authorship in this domain is indisputable. And the Global Energy is the most fitting award for such situations. Did you think that Dr. Baliga was now just repeating the fruits of success? Not at all. Today he is all in with alternative forms of energy and methods of its regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the International Global Energy Award 2015, Professor Bijayant Baliga. The winner of the International Global Energy Award 2015, Nobel laureate, Professor Suitsei Nakamura from the United States. Please watch the screen. Shuji Nakamura's invention revolutionized the world of gadgets and technology. The screens of smartphones, digital cameras, car lights, street lighting system, traffic lights, and equipment for airplanes and cars. Most of these and other devices are linked to the name of Nakamura. In 1990, the scientists first developed and introduced into production the blue LED. He combined the green and red LEDs and gained worldwide fame with the white LED lamp. Citation index of Professor Nakamura is one of the highest in the world and is 89. LED lighting is an energy-saving and eco-friendly. They are 20 times more efficient than traditional incandescent lamps. US LED conversion experts estimate reducing CO2 emissions by 10 million metric tons. Knowing this, it is hard to believe that the inventor of the blue LED, Shuji Nakamura, began by a chance. The dream to get his work published made the scientist think whether he can do something which no one else has done before, something totally unique. Nakamura decided to create the LED and began to experiment with the raw material which others had given up on. Within 3 years, in 1993, the company Nichia began the mass production of blue LEDs. The following year, in 1994, the scientist who 5 years earlier had been just dreaming of his first work started publishing and became Dr. Nakamura's supervisor. Today, Shigeru Nakamura is a professor at and author of about 150 scientific publications and laureate of the 2014 Nobel Prize. His great invention has changed the world, but he has no intention to rest on his oars. The winner of the International Global Energy Award 2015, the Nobel laureate, Professor Shuichi Nakamura, United States. Ladies and gentlemen, as tasked by the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, the International Global Energy Award is being given by the responsible secretary of the Commission under the President of Russia, covering the issues of the development of fuel and energy complex and energy security, Igor Sechin. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to greet you in St. Petersburg, the city where the Russian science was founded almost 300 years ago under the decree of Peter the Great, founding the St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences. The Global Energy Prize is being awarded for the unique achievements in the area of energy, for scientific ideas which do not remain just a pure theory, but were able to gain practical implementation and serve humanity. And so, tasked by the President of Russia, I would like to congratulate the winners of 2015, Dr. Jayanth Baliga and Dr. Nakamura. To me, this is a great honor, because the inventions by these outstanding scientists, without exaggeration, changed the course of the scientific progress and forced us to cast a new kind of look at many similarly traditional and unchanged ideas. And I believe that I would use the inventions by our laureates, and I would add a bit of more of white color. Professor Jayanth Baliga has been noted with an award for the innovative developments in the energy area and the energy distribution. Scientific America magazine included him into the 8 heroes of the semiconductor revolution. He was awarded by High Award the Pride of India, prestigious awards for the contribution to the development of the semiconductor devices. He was elected a member of a number of national academies. He's the author of more than 500 publications by the leading international publications. He has more than 100 patents, as we heard, and right now Dr. Baliga is heading the scientific research center which he founded, which is actively involved in promoting his inventions. The bipolar transistor with an isolated shutter that he invented produced an enormous effect over the development of the electric technology and serves as the basis for many smart energy systems. This is the invention, but which belongs not only to the energy people, but it found a very broad application in our everyday life, in our home appliances, all the way to the most complex medical devices. Suffice it to say that annually, thanks to his inventions, more than 100,000 people are having their lives saved. The laureate of the Nobel Prize in Physics, Shigeru Nakamura, produced a real revolution in the optoelectronics. He practically was surprising, single-handedly worked over his basic invention, the reactors for the production of materials he produced himself. He became a unique expert in a whole number of areas. He used to work as a chemist, technologist, a designer. Over 150 publications he has. He's the member of the National Academy of the Engineering Academy in the United States. He's the Professor Suji Nakamura, teaches currently in the California University. The blue LED light that he invented opens up new opportunities to produce a clean, pure white light. And all the companies which produce LED elements, they apply his developments. By 2020, just within 5 years' time, their application would enable us to save the kind of money which would be necessary to build 60 nuclear stations without without mentioning the environmental effect. These are truly global ideas, and that is why, because they touch every person in any country, in any part of the globe, and they truly change the world around, so they completely comply with this notion of the global energy. Dear friends, once again, I would like to congratulate our winners and our laureates. This is a worthy acknowledgement, which is very important because this is the result of many years of hard work. There could have possibly been various areas of disappointments because that happens in a scientific quest. As Mr. Einstein sometimes mentioned, the person who never made a mistake simply never tried doing something truly new. So all these difficulties were shared by our laureate spouses, and so today they also share this very joyous moment. Mrs. Fatima Beliga and Mrs. Yuki Nakamura are present in this room. Please allow me to welcome them from the bottom of my heart as well. I'm confident that our winners do face a lot of new inventions in the future, and we would wish them success and very good health. Thanks them very much. For the invention, in the development and commercialization of the bipolar transistor with an isolated shutter, which is one of the most important innovations in the area of the control and distribution of energy, the golden medal of the laureate is being awarded to Professor Vijayant Baliga. For the invention, development, and commercialization of the energy-efficient white diode, the gold medal is being given to Professor Suji Nakamura. Now we're giving the floor to the laureate of the International Global Energy Award 2015 with a word to Professor Vijayant Baliga.
Mr. Sechin, esteemed fellow recipient, Dr. Nakamura, members of the Distinguished Selection Committee, and respected audience members, I'm delighted to be selected as a recipient of the Global Energy Prize for this year. This is indeed a very great personal honor for me. But more importantly, this prize brings worldwide attention to the importance of my IGBT innovation and its impact on billions of people around the world. The IGBT, as you already heard, is an embedded technology that is used in all sectors of our economy today for the management of power and energy, but it is hidden from the eyes of society and people. This prestigious award puts the spotlight on the IGBT, allowing recognition of its global impact and on improving energy efficiency. During the last 25 years, the IGBT-based electronic ignition system that you all use for your automobiles has reduced gasoline consumption by 1.5 trillion gallons around the world. IGBT-based compact fluorescent lamps for lighting and adjustable speed motor drives for air conditioning and refrigeration have reduced electricity consumption by 73,000 terawatt hours, which is equivalent to not having to build 1,366 power plants. As a consequence, consumers have saved $24 trillion during the last 25 years, while carbon dioxide emissions have been reduced by more than 100 trillion pounds, which has offset all human activity for a period of about 2 years. I would like to extend my appreciation to the Global Energy Prize Selection Committee for bringing this important innovation to the attention of the world because of its impact on energy generation, energy management, and energy efficiency. On a personal level, in 1969, I went from India to the United States with the dream of creating a technology that would be beneficial to all mankind. The opportunity to achieve this dream was created by joining Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to perform pioneering doctoral studies on MOCVD technology. In 1974, after graduating from RPI, I secured a job at the corporate research labs of the General Electric Company to work on power devices. This area was already considered a mature technology, having been worked on for over 25 years. But I was able to revolutionize the field by inventing the IGBT. So I want to take this opportunity to thank the management of the General Electric Company for their immediate recognition of the value of the IGBT idea and for providing the support required for my successful commercialization of this innovation in a very short period of 1 year. My appreciation also goes to my team at GE that I led for their assistance during the analysis, chip fabrication, and application of the IGBT for a wide variety of products inside the General Electric Company in the early 1980s, including air conditioning, refrigerators, lamps, as well as the locomotive drives. Since that time, thousands of engineers all over the world have worked on improving the performance of the IGBT and its power ratings so that today it can be used even at tens of megawatt levels, for example, to drive your Sapsan high-speed bullet train. So I'm grateful to all of these people for their effort as well, because they helped my dream come true. In closing, I must thank my wife, Pratima, for supporting me for nearly 20 years of our married life. I'm happy to say that she's here to share this recognition with me today. Spasiba.
Дамы и господа,
Ladies and gentlemen, now we're giving the floor to the laureate of the International Global Energy Award, Professor Suji Nakamura.
President Putin, Chairman Alam, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, it is a great honor to receive this year's Global Energy Prize, and I'd like to thank the International Award Committee for their recognition of my invention and development of white LED-based lighting. I have been very fortunate to be supported by many people in my career. I'm grateful for the support of UCSB, Chancellor Henry Yang, Dean Rod Alfrenis, and all of the faculty and staff of UCSB. I'm especially thankful for my colleagues, Stephen Denbas, Jim Speck, and Umesh Mishra in the Solid-State Lighting and Energy Electronics Center. I'd also like to thank my wife, Yuki, and the kids for letting me work so hard. When I was a child, I enjoyed reading comic books, especially I like to read a comic book titled Iron Atom. Iron Atom was a robot invented by Dr. Ochanomizu, who fought against bad guys. Over time, a desire grew to invent my own robot that could fight against bad guys. This was the beginning of my journey to become a scientist. After joining a company, Niche Chemical Corporation, in 1979, I worked on developing materials, growing crystal, and making devices of conventional infrared and red LEDs for 10 years. During this period, I was able to develop 3 products. However, sales were very poor and resulted in no profit. My bosses complained to me a lot by saying, "You waste a lot of money for your R&D with no resulting profit. You have to quit our company. You have to quit our company." I became desperate to find a research topic worth pursuing. I went to the founder and the president of my company, Mr. Nobuo Ogawa, in 1988. I asked him whether I could begin research on blue LEDs. He said yes. I was so surprised as I expected to be fired on the spot. Having awakened the interest of the old founder who was in his 76, I asked him to invest $5 million for my blue LED research. Again, he said yes. He has been always a big supporter of me, for which I am very grateful. He was one of the best venture capitalists for me. Without the best VC, Nobuo Ogawa, I would not have invented the blue LEDs. In April of 1988, I went to the University of Florida as a visiting researcher for 1 year after getting the approval from the president. While I was studying with a PhD student over there, they asked me whether I had a PhD degree. I said no. Next, they asked me whether I had published any scientific papers. I said no. In the US, a scientist or a researcher has to have a PhD degree. After coming back to Japan in 1989, my dream was to get a PhD degree by publishing 5 scientific papers. In Japan, at that time, you could get a PhD degree, also called a paper degree, by publishing at least 5 scientific papers. At the time, there were 2 kinds of materials available to develop blue LEDs, zinc selenide or gallium nitride. Basically, all of the scientists working on blue LEDs selected zinc selenide. I selected gallium nitride because I thought that it would be easy to publish papers, because there are only a small number of published papers on gallium nitride at that time. I never expected I could invent the blue LEDs using gallium nitride, because it was so unpopular due to poor crystal quality. Then, fortunately, I succeeded in inventing the first high-efficient blue LEDs using gallium nitride-based materials in 1993. Since the invention of the blue LEDs in 1993, many researchers joined the field and created many applications for solid-state lighting, such as mobile phone screens, LED TV, and large displays. But the application with the greatest impact to the world energy consumption is that general illumination, recognizing that 1/4 of all of the world electricity is used for lighting. LED light bulbs are more than 10 times efficient than incandescent bulbs, and they last for 50 years. At the current adoption rate, by 2020, LEDs can reduce the world need for electricity by the equivalent of nearly 60 nuclear power plants. LEDs are also efficient enough to be driven by a simple solar cell-powered battery. Now, this clean and inexpensive technology can help bring light to millions of people around the world who don't have access to electricity. LED lighting has now truly become a reality. Nowadays, we can buy energy-efficient LED light bulbs at the supermarket and help reduce energy use. Today, I hope that everyone can use efficient LED lighting to save energy and do their part to reduce global warming. Спасибо. Thank you.
На сцену приглашается...
And one we invite to the stage the extraordinary and omnipotentiary ambassador from Japan to Russia, Tsukatika Harada. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to read out the following congratulations on behalf of Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. I would like, from the bottom of my heart, to congratulate Professor Shuji Nakamura and Professor Jayanga Baliga with being awarded the International Global Energy Award. It is a particular honor to me is the fact that following Mr. Masaji Yoshikawa and Mr. Akira Yoshino, who received this award in 2006 and 2013, respectively. Now, for the third time, it is a Japanese who is being awarded. Japan and Russia established diplomatic relations 160 years ago in 1855 and have lived through different events which support and develop bilateral relations. Adhering to the strategy long-term point of view, I would like to develop our cooperation in different areas and to raise the Japanese-Russian relationship to a much higher level. Amongst other things, mutually beneficial cooperation in the areas of energy, innovations, is one of the most important elements of the Japanese-Russian relationships, since in these areas there remain great opportunities which are yet untapped. So this award to Professor Nakamura by the International Energy Award Commission will serve as a favorable occasion in order for the cooperation and the links between Japan and Russia, first and foremost in the energy and scientific technical areas, to become even more active. In conclusion, I would like to wish for the International Global Energy Award to continue playing an important role for the resolution of global issues in the area of energy, as well as for the winners of this award, Professor Nakamura and Professor Baliga, could achieve even greater successes in their research and make a contribution into the human well-being. With this, the congratulatory address by Prime Minister Abe is over. Thank you very much for your attention. Dear winners and laureates, your energy is the contribution to the life of the whole community. Your enormous experience, your wisdom, your perseverance is the token for the success of the following generations of scientists and specialists. On behalf of the Non-Commercial Partnership Global Energy and the guests of this ceremony, we are grateful to you for your invaluable contribution to the world energy. Let this award develop. Its winners also become great in numbers, incentivizing scholars for new energy breakthroughs and innovative solutions. And to us, it just remains to say that this 13th International Global Energy Award ceremony in 2015 is over.